Hello and welcome back to BB Kingle. Today we're looking over the Salem Witch Trials and how they came about and what actually went down. Salem village was first colonised in 1626 by some English Protestants or Puritans, but the Salem Witch Trials was between February 1692 and May 1693. Just a bit of context on Puritans. They wanted to reform the church under Queen Elizabeth I as incomplete and sought to simplify and regulate forms of worship. In 1692, Salem village wasn't at its highest. Yes, it was coming up to his 70th birthday and it was getting quite the establishment now. However, that winter was one of its worst winters. Also, they were very, very scared of Navajos. They were scared of Navajo raiders coming and taking their things. They were already suffering from starvation. They were scared there was going to be more of it. There was also a fear of French settlers. They didn't want them coming to raid them either. So tensions were quite high, you can say, in the village around the start of the witch trials. January 1692. A 9-year-old and 11-year-old girl started acting very, very strange. The 9-year-old was called Elizabeth Parris and the 11-year-old was called Abigail Williams. Now, Elizabeth was the daughter of the minister of Salem, Samuel Parris, and Abigail Williams was the niece. Now, the pair of them suffered from the same symptoms. They'd both have contortions, scream uncontrollably and have multiple fits. Obviously these aren't normal characteristics, so they were took to the hospital to see what they had, if anything, and they were diagnosed with bewitchment. So this is where I first started. 2 girls were diagnosed with being cursed by a witch. Yeah, mad. This wasn't new to them. Obviously, looking back at my Halloween origins, the witches, which is this one here where I talk about the origins of witches, I mention it in there. In the English had trials, the English were killing witches. So they believed, these Protestants, that the devil would use a human agent or a witch to do their dirty work, to wreak havoc in our civilized world. February now and warrants have been issued on 3 different women. One was a Caribbean slave called Tituba, another was a woman called Sarah Good, and the third was a woman called Sarah Osborne. The Salem village minister's daughter and niece both said that these people set spells on them. Sarah Good was a homeless woman, Sarah Osborne was an elderly poor woman, and Tituba was their Caribbean slave. And apparently these 3 came together and made the children act how they were. So now the trials have commenced. These were the first 3 to be put to court in front of a judge and jury and asked, "Are you a witch?" One of which was Jonathan Corwin, the other was John Hathorne, and those 2 asked these 3 women if they were witches. Both Sarahs denied it. However, Tituba said she was. She said that with other help from other people, she cast this spell on these 2 kids. But with these trials, they would rather you say, "Yes, I done this. I'm very, very sorry that I done this and I won't do it again." And that's what the Protestants wanted. They didn't want you to say, "Yes, I done it," and then they were going to kill you. They wanted an apology. They wanted, "I'm not going to do it again." Tituba went to prison along with the other 2 Sarahs. However, Sarah Good's husband turned against her and said if she isn't a witch now, she will become one. So she was ready to be hanged. Sarah Osborne was pregnant at the time and gave birth to her child in the prison. Her child died and she did shortly after. This just erupted. Everyone everywhere was getting accused. It wasn't just in Salem village, it was widespread. It went round Massachusetts and people were getting accused. People were also saying, "Yes, they helped me as well," and then they'd be like, "Okay, thank you for being honest. We'll save you, but will kill the people who you said helped you out, because they're denying it. And like I said earlier, the Protestants didn't want that. They wanted, I'm sorry, won't do it again, jackpot. So people just start accusing people. If they got accused, they'd accuse someone else. It was a huge, vicious cycle. 5 accused witches died in July, same as August. 8 in September, and throughout the full period, 7 of which died in jail. Increase Mather and Cotton Mather were both pushing for more evidence for what a witch is. They said it should be treated like a normal crime. Get a lot of evidence, look at both sides and decide and come to a verdict. However, like I said, people would just get accused and then they were just getting hanged. Over that time, there was over 100 people accused of being a witch in prison. 14 women and men died in total over the course of the trials. Governor Phipps dissolved the court of which the trials took place at. And this was in October. Trials were still going on after the court was dissolved in October. And like I said, over 100 of which were in prison, 14 men and women died. So Governor Phipps said that he doesn't want anyone in jail who's been accused of witch. He pardoned them all. They were all released. And one of which who was released was Tituba. So she started the whole saying someone else done it, and she just got put into prison, which showing other people you got let off lightly. And whereas the other 2 Sarahs died, she didn't and was released a year later. So if you did enjoy this video, please check this one out here. I've also put the BB Kingle Halloween Origins video here for witches in case you are interested in that as well. But check either of these 2 out. Please like, subscribe and follow me on my quest for paranormal sightings and events that are beyond belief.